Hey everyone, Scotty Collier, West Ham Fan TV. Welcome to the big match preview. Today, I am previewing the West Ham United versus Tottenham Hotspur game. A tough London derby to get our teeth into. The return of the Premier League after the international break. This is going to be a cracker. Obviously, looking to bounce back after that 1-0 defeat to Brighton. A game, in my opinion, we didn't approach with the right attitude. You know, it looked like we thought we'd won the game before the ball had even been kicked. And, you know, Brighton had a game plan, stuck to it, went 1-0 up. We were always chasing the game. We struggled to break them down at times. Yeah, probably second half performance, you could say we were unlucky not to get a draw, but the damage was already done. We can't afford to start the way we did against Brighton against Spurs. You know, Spurs looking for their fourth win on the bounce after beating Cardiff 1-0 last time out, just before the international break. You know, they seem to be over that little blip that they had. We've got to approach this game the same way we did against United. You know, if we play like that, I'm very confident going into this game. But, as I said, we can't afford to, you know, have that Jekyll and Hyde performance that we saw against Brighton. So going into this one, Tottenham, decent league form. You know, I think they've lost 2 games in the league this season, so they're climbing their way back up to try and get into that top 4. Our record against them isn't too shabby. You know, I think we've lost 1 of our last 4 fixtures. Obviously, last time 2 sides met at Wembley, it was a 1-1 draw. Last time 2 sides met at the London Stadium, Spurs won out 3-2 winners. There's been some close games as well in the last 6. I think 3 games have been 3-2 score lines, 2 1-0 score lines, and a 1-1 draw. Obviously, that was the last fixture. So, you know, this is one of them games where we're going to see goals or decent defensive performances. Spurs, as I said, had a good start to the season. Injury-wise, they are going to be without Young Vertonghen, Danny Rose, Dele Alli. You know, 2 key players there in Vertonghen and Alli missing for them. But they'll be boosted by the return of Dembele and Christian Eriksen. You know, Eriksen and Dembele, very good players. You know, Harry Kane, we all know about. You know, he's been on England duty, putting a good performance against Spain for England as well. So, you know, he's always a threat. I think his name's Mora. You know, he's had a decent start to this season as well. So, you know, plenty of players to keep an eye on. One of the Spurs players I like probably the most is his son. You know, very tricky player. Don't think he gets as much praise as he should. You know, he can cause problems. He's very tricky. You know, he's a player that can be hard to defend against. So, you know, they've got a lot about them that we need to be worried about. But they need to be worried about us. You know, we have been playing some good stuff of late, barring that little blip against Brighton. As I said, if we play the way we did against United, Tottenham are in for a torrid time. As I said, injury-wise, we have no new injury concerns. I think there's small doubts over Masuaku and Snodgrass as they've been away on international duty, but I fully expect them to be in the squad. I expect our starting 11 to be roughly the same against what started against Brighton, if I'm honest. You know, as I said, there was a little fear of Arnie, but he's been training. Pellegrini's come out and said he will be playing in the Spurs game, so that is a massive boost for us. Just a little worried at the moment if we do lose him to injury. You know, how are we going to set up? Because in my opinion, we saw against Brighton when we had to bring on the likes of Antonio playing in that forward position, Perez, we sort of lack a little bit. You know, Antonio's been working hard, don't get me wrong, during the international break. I've seen a couple of videos I got sent over of him training by himself, which is good to see. You know, he's trying to get his attitude right. He's trying to get himself fitter and get himself back to the Antonio that we want to see. You know, the hard-working, goal-scoring Antonio that causes teams problems. We see flashes of it this season, but not enough, in my opinion. You know, he's someone who needs to pull his socks up a bit, get his head down, get in there and try and get himself back into the starting 11. And so I do fully expect the starting lineup to be the same starting 11 we saw against Brighton. You know, it's no other injury concerns. Tough game. But one everyone's looking forward to. So, I said, quietly confident going into this one, but very wary of it. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back with post-match pint, fan cams after the games. Come and find us. We'll be by the club shop. Give us everything, your opinion on West Ham. Yeah, said post-match pint. I'll be back next week with my big match preview for the Leicester City fixture. One thing left to say, come on you Irons.